camisa nueva que tú bordaste en rojo ayer, me hallará la muerte si me lleva y no te vuelvo a ver. Formaré junto a mis compañeros que hacen guardia sobre los luceros, impasible la demás y están presentes en nuestro afán. Si te dicen que caí, me fui al puesto que tengo allí. Volverán banderas victoriosas al paso alegre de la paz y traerán prendidas 5 rosas las flechas de mi haz. Volverá a reír la primavera que por cielo, tierra y mar se espera. Arriba cuadras a vencer, en España empieza a amanecer. Amanecer.
Qué bueno.
Cállate.
¿Estos son de Bordamar? ¿Viven ahí?
Sí. Calla, calla.
¿Esto lo hacen todos los días? Ya voy.
¡España! ¡Una! ¡España! ¡Grande! ¡España! ¡Libre! ¡Arriba España! ¡Arriba! Gracias a todos los sanitarios que están haciendo su trabajo para curar a todos los enfermos a este virus. Espero que todos salgamos a las calles cuando este presidente corrupto que ha permitido que se expanda el coronavirus, le reclamaremos todas sus acciones y se las ha llevado a la justicia. Gracias.
And remember, we're only week 4 into the big lockdown. I guess everyone's finding their own special way of dealing with it, right? All right, let's get started. So how do I find you all this fine evening? Sunday, not that it matters if you're under the lockdown. One day's as good as any other, right? I've had a late-breaking entry into the dynamic content generation here. You saw the man with the whip? Now see the men with the memes. All this for a succulent Chinese meal. China lied, people died, no place left to hide. Oh, that's some nice alliteration there. From China with Ruv, no masks, no gloves. The fucking boys are doing it. All this for a succulent Chinese meal. Now, what is that reference, you may ask? Well, welcome to the internet.
Just a moment, you just assured me that I could speak.
Sit down inside the car. We're not assuring anything. We're under arrest.
Look, I'm under what? Gentlemen, this is Democracy Manifest. Have a look at the headlock here. See that chap over there? Get your hand off my penis! This is the bloke who got me on the penis before.
Get some cups.
Why did you do this to me?
Hop in the car. Get some cups.
For what reason? What is the charge? Eating a meal? A succulent Chinese meal? Oh, that's a nice headlock, sir. Oh, yes. I see that you know your judo well. Good one. And you, sir, are you waiting to receive my limp penis? Now, get your hands off there.
No, we've only got one cup.
Ta-ta and farewell.
So I guess get him in the car.
One cup, look. They even broke.
Oh, remember, if you're going to be arrested for dining and dashing, at least make the news tape a good one. Now, speaking of succulent Chinese meals.
Got that. 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 Like you, 'cause you got that. Something that I need if I like, so give it to me. Got that. Like you, 'cause you got that. Something that I need if I like, that I need, so got that. Like you, 'cause you got that. Something that I need if I like, so give it to me. Got that. Like you, 'cause you got that. Something that I need if I like, that I need, so got that.
Just finishes on thanks, China. What else is there to say? Thanks a lot, China. We've really been enjoying the gift. There may be more discussions about the gift as we go on. The gift has become relevant yet again. Let's see what else. So, if you're wondering where that nice lady wearing the funny hat came from, there you go. So it's doing the rounds there. That was in reference to this one. Spain is going off the fucking goop, lads. I thought, what a fine intro that will make for this zero content presentation. As always, I'm a liar, not complete zero content. We do have some content. Like people have been asking me to play the Astartes thing. We'll save that for a bit. Because first, before you have... Yo, can you link that file for that? Oh, I grabbed it off of Discord. But I do believe it's doing the rounds. Now, before you have before you have your dessert, you gotta have your dinner first, you know. How can you have your pudding if you don't eat your meat? And we do have some red meat for you here. Do you know who's not getting restricted at hospitals? Do you know who's not being told, if you have a cardiac arrest and the paramedics can't resuscitate you on the scene, not to bring you into the hospital? Oh, rules for thee, but not for me. Oy vey. So, let's do up some background musics. Like some background musics. Usual, as a complete boomer. And as soon as I said that, I glanced over to make sure that I wasn't muted. I forgot to cue up my background music. Dead air. Alright, here we go, team. You're gonna love this one, especially if you've actually been trying to access, I don't know, basic services in the last month. Well, I guess you're just not the right type of person. New York. Jews at Brooklyn Hospital will enjoy privileged access to ventilators over Gentiles. Now, I've got no idea how to say that. Mama Dozanina's Matzo Bowl Soup Medical Center, Brooklyn's largest hospital, is non-sectarian and supposed to serve all New Yorkers equally, regardless of race. According to new reports, this is about to change. The portable ventilator shortage in COVID-19-ridden New York has led to hospitals across the city to begin debating rationing healthcare for those who stop breathing or fall into cardiac arrest. While no official protocols are in place, what? In New York? Oh no, there are protocols in place in New York. It has been reported that doctors are already informally implementing do not resuscitate orders against the wishes of sick patients in order to more effectively use ventilators. Oh, I should have grabbed that Twitter that was going around this morning. Apparently they're strong-arming people. Doctors are issuing do not revive certificates explicitly against the wishes of patients. Isn't that neat? At Matzo Ball, the Jews-only ambulance service, Hatzlah, has somehow gotten its hands on 50 ventilators and donated them to the Borough Park Hospital. The donation comes with strings attached. Jews will get priority access, and in cases where an elderly Jewish patient is far gone and a young Gentile patient could be saved, the Jew must keep his ventilator indefinitely. According to Hatzlah, you really gotta do it at the back of the throat. It is against the Jewish religion to refuse patients care based on age or comorbidities. This is by no means unique to Jews, as the Catholic Church and various other religious institutions believe the exact same thing. Once again, religion is being used to mask racial privilege. The Jewish community's behaviour during this pandemic has been atrocious. A recent police raid on a warehouse belonging to Baruch Feinheim. Now he's been covered extensively, and I know he's been on the kill stream, he's been on Tedious, he's been all around the place, but you just gotta have a look at this guy's face. Oh, of course the New York Post wouldn't have that guy's face. Don't worry, we'll grab him real quick, team. I'm sure just a quick Googles will show you the absolutely fantastic Facebook background this guy had. It really, really is something. Oh, what do you know? Oh, come on. Come on, where's his picture? So it is bringing up some interesting, quote-unquote, unrelated images. Alright, I'm sure someone will post it in the chat. It really is something, it has to be seen to be believed. Baruch Feinheim's Facebook background there. Uncovered a massive stockpile of desperately needed medical supplies. Feinheim was selling struggling hospitals N95 masks at a 700% markup, revealing a callous willingness to profit from misery and death. While right-wing pundits are comfortably spreading rumours that Chinese agents are spreading the virus across on purpose, and the FBI and Jewish leaders have promoted the hoax that racist white men are infecting Jews on purpose. We've covered that particular article before. I'll just show it for reference. It's actually a direct quote here. They literally made this up. But the World Jewish Congress head, Ronald Lauder, bands of white nationalists and neo-Nazis are currently roaming the streets of New York City, purposely infecting Jewish people, minorities, and police officers. Now notice how he has that in order of his preference. Jews, minorities, and then finally police officers. In a secret plot to spread the modern plague. Yes. That is the head of the World Jewish Congress, Ronald Lauer. Completely and utterly inventing fiction and having it reported. Neither side is keen to mention that in actuality, it is Jews who have been overrepresented as vectors of COVID-19. According to Deborah Lipstadt, Jews are unwilling to follow state bans on large gatherings that endanger them and the people around them due to the Holocaust. Governor Phil Murphy of New Jersey has been forced to engage in mass arrests and ticketing to try and discourage the Jews of Lakewood, New Jersey, from flagrantly violating his executive order forbidding large public gatherings. Seeing as how the supply of everything from ambulances to ventilators is being stressed by the sudden rush of patients, it would be in the interests of the citizens of New York for Governor Andrew Cuomo to take over Hotzler and the stockpile of supplies in the hands of local Jewish gangsters to be utilised based on medical need, rather than race or profit. So there's a lot of this going around. The boys have been covering it fairly extensively. There's stuff that just can't stay out of the news, like that Barak Feidheim. Don't worry, we'll find that picture of him. Oh, Faust has got a link for us. He says, "Yeah, it's whites koofing on people." Let's have a grab at that. Oh dear. Spicy.
Nazi! Nazi!
Yep, there he is, koofing on a cop. Nazis! Nazis! It's amazing how people don't like these people, isn't it?
Nazi! Nazi!
All right. So we've got that. That was a nice short little article. I hope you enjoyed it. Faust says that's in Israel too. Yeah, you know. Guess who hates Orthodox Jews the most? The Israelis. They can't fucking stand them. They literally gas them. That's right. They broke up one of these things by firing tear gas at them. An aerosolized hand sanitizer. Who's out there gassing the Orthodox? Or the non-Orthodox? They're the only ones allowed to do it. They're the only ones who ever have done it. Alright, shall we have a look at this Astartes thing? I think it's time. People have been clamoring for it. I want to see it too. It's alright, losing a hand's not a big deal when you're a space marine. Alright, from my my surface understanding of Warhammer 40k, I think what's going on there is that's something to do with the Void Dragon and the guy got teleported to Mars. I think. There was always that bit in the lore where the Adeptus Astartes weren't being quite on the level with the rest of the Imperium about exactly what they had on Mars. And it was either the Void Dragon, or it looked like they walked past one of the giant Iron Men robots of the 30k era. So I don't know. It could be the Iron Men, could be the Void Dragon, could be both. It's all very. Oh, am I sounding funny again? Shit. The only way to fix that is unplug it and replug it. That should fix it. It fixes it most of the time. All right. Yeah, that's right. They can literally print you a new hand or give you an Android one. Yeah, the Adeptus Mechanis, whatever it is. There we go. Yeah, I don't know why it does that. I actually updated OBS. It had a hotfix right before I started the show. That was one of the things I was hoping it would fix. Apparently not. Started up a couple of months ago. It's highly annoying. Yeah, now I know how to easily fix it. You just unplug and replug. Now, I think Brandon's going to link me to the thing I already opened before. Yeah, it is. So this happened about 6 days ago. Some people were retweeting it. It did get some attention. Larry Sanger, one of the co-founders of Wikipedia, has decided to break his chains a little bit. And it did get some attention, though I will note that it at 9.4k likes, it doesn't get half the attention of like Cardi B farting into her hand and uploading it. So, that's the sort of attention actually serious political stuff gets over, someone twerking day ass. Let's have a read, because this is quite the tweet chain, as it were. Oh, name redacted said, did Rand catch any charges for that stunt outside the embassy? As far as I'm aware, the cops did turn up and they said he's He's not actually breaking the law, so we're not doing anything. All he was doing was cracking the whip. And and of course the media tried to say, oh, racist rant. You'll notice he never actually said anything racist. When he says the fucking Chinese, he's referring to the nation. He said nothing about the Han Chinese whatsoever. So that's a slur, a misrepresentation. Talking about the nation of China. I mean, that's very interesting for the media to assume that a nation is a race, and a race can be a nation. That's some dangerous territory there, media. You should play the video, what, for the third time? I'm sure I can play it again. Why not? Well, let's have a little look at what Larry Sanger had to say a week ago. So, child sex trafficking by elites is a horrible reality. Below, I outline the case for this claim. Please share with friends so they can wake up. Favor, after each tweet, please post the most persuasive online evidence you know. There is proof of all of this. Beginning with Jeffrey Epstein, his circle of friends featured some of the most famous people in the world. People like Bill Clinton. Oh, hang on. Put the... Bill Clinton, Bill Gates. Oh, no surprise there. Prince Andrew, even Donald Trump. Look up the Lolita Express flight log and his black book. Quite a stunning social circle, really. He was arrested twice because he was a pedophile who abused many teen girls. He had an island in the Caribbean in which this took place, which by all credible accounts was visited by many of his famous friends. There is courtroom evidence that Epstein's friends sexually abused the teen girls he collected, who as young as 12 were basically sex slaves. But I'm just scratching the surface here. There are hair-curdling claims about a temple on his island. Well, there's not claims about the temple. We actually saw the drone footage of it. There's no claims about there being a temple. There is a fucking temple. And rites performed in the hill underneath it. You don't have to believe that to be shocked by Epstein's circle. Epstein's circle. But the occult connections keep reoccurring, disturbingly. This is what you've heard and, if you're like most people, probably already forgotten about. But we are not even close to being done. Did you know that ABC News had this story in 2016 and covered it up? They did. Everyone knows that too, but few are talking about it. Now, I do believe that when that actually came out, both the TRS boys and Ralph played that stuff from that reporter who sat on the project. Did you know that it was covered up in a different way last 2008 when Epstein was sentenced to a mere slap on the wrist? Why on earth in the name of all that's holy? Because he's powerful and has powerful friends to protect, you say? Right, think about that. Hard. Most of the story came out last summer, but no one else has been jailed. Not even Epstein's chief accomplices, Ghislaine Maxwell, whose location is unknown. Few in this scandal-crazed media seem to care much. That's weird, isn't it? We the people would learn much more about the suspects and allegations if court documents were unsealed. But massive numbers of Epstein case documents have been sealed. The court system is protecting the guilty, again, as they did in 2008. They do that a lot, turns out. Now think, this doesn't take evidence, it takes a little bit of brave thinking. What must our beloved and distinguished world of famous, rich and powerful people be like if Epstein's friends, those people... Oh God! What did you mean? Those people, it just needs a couple more parentheses there. Larry, you forgot to put in the other two parentheses. Are violating teen sex slaves, and the courts protect them. It sure sounds like many of the beautiful people know about child sex trafficking by elites. Some participate in it, and the media and courts cover it up. But systematically? Do they really? Surely not, you say. Sadly, this happens over and over and over. Look these up. Note, separate tweet below for each. The Catholic Church, Pedowood, underage groupies, Jimmy Savile, Rotherham, CPS disappearances, the Kinsey Institute, Word of God, NXIVM, The Finders. Oh, is Jim still in the chat? The Finders, Jim. Mark Detrue. Remember, I was doing that thing on Mark Detrue, but then I got incredibly drunk and then distracted. Laura, well, I think reading out Mark Detrue's story may have had something to do with how everything started going black, because I started drinking really heavily, and I only got halfway through that article. Laura Silsby, and yes, Pizzagate. Oh, he done did it! He done mentioned Pizzagates. The Catholic Church has had massive numbers of pedophiles. Yeah, but then again, so has the State Education Service. They never go away. Why not? Why don't the police move in on them? Why has it gone on for generations? And there's evidence it's condoned. Yes, condoned and organised within the church. Now, I assume that's the end of his tweet thing, because it doesn't continue. Oh! What's going on? How come his shit's getting broken up? That's 13. Now we're on 5th. This tweet is unavailable. What's going on there? Why is that tweet unavailable, Jack? Why'd you break the tweet chain, Jack? Oh, now there's 2 of them. I wonder how many more of these there are. Oh, here we go. 14 and 16 seem to have been removed. Do you have them somewhere else? Reshare, please. That's fucking interesting, isn't it? So this is a very, very spicy tweet chain, so how come 14 and 16 went missing? It's, I guess out of all that, just those 2 were a little too hot for TV, huh? Let's take a break from the list to think about an important question. How can these people get away with their crimes? Why can they still hide? Because indeed many of the perps are still walking free. Because the police and the courts must be paid off or part of the networks. Now I gotta say, when I first saw this on my phone, I was at work a couple of days ago, I thought he stopped at 13. Because as you saw there, like the chain was broken. And yeah, that's just interesting, isn't it? Actually, let's just scroll back up to number 1. Oh, okay. Oh, my like is still there. That's good. I was just wondering if they'd removed my likes, because there's this stuff going on at the moment where people are saying, like, likes are disappearing off particularly spicy tweets. So good to know mine from a couple of days ago was still there. I should probably like all of them. Hold on, just a sec, team. I know this is fascinating television. But, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. Like for you, and a like for you, and a like for you. 17. The case, because fuck knows what 16 was. Hold on, let me just open that up. I have to open all of Trouble Turtle's links on the sidebar, because I can never trust these links. I'll get to that. We're gonna finish this off. And this may have spurred on some other content I was planning to do, but a little bit more premature. Which means that I might have to do some on-the-fly censoring because there are a couple of naughty words dropped in it. The case of Jimmy Savile, famous British comedian, is stunning because he was knighted by the Queen long after rumours began that he systematically raped kids in hospitals. Jesus! At least let him get well first, Jimmy! And supplied children to others. Close friends of the royals think they didn't know. Prince Andrew. Yes, this is heavy, but look, it happened all over the world, repeatedly in high society. High society. I like how he did use the quotations there. We just never put it all together. The media is largely silent. This is surely why NAMBLA and pedophilia have had famous defenders like poet Allen Ginsberg and some psychologists. And yes, I did do the Jew voice for the entire profession because you fucking know it's true. Why on earth did the authorities allow systematic, horrific abuse of children go on in Rotherham and other places? So many places, schools, churches, hospitals, etc., that you can look it up. They let it happen. Systematically, deliberately. This is not a joke, and it's real. And did you know that children have gone missing? Thousands of them from the Child Protective Services foster care system? And no, they're not all runaways. Some are purchased. The point here is that what should an earth-shattering scandal is ignored. Why? The Kinsey Institute's famous early studies were done by scientists working with others, known pedophiles who weren't reported. Kinsey's evidence that babies can have orgasms was based on observations that they cried when abused. Jesus Christ. John of God basically ran a sex slave camp masquerading as a spiritual revival of some sort. Oprah visited and was delighted with his ministry. But then, she has her own schools for girls in South Africa that had its own child rape scandals, so maybe she didn't care. Well, it's South Africa. I just assume that there's rape going on. Are we done with establishment connections with pedophilia? No. And this is real stuff you can look up. You just don't know. Look up the XMIVM sex slave cult. Now, that got covered quite extensively once again by the boys and the Killstream, which does involve kids and had connections with heiress Claire Bronfman. Hang on. Let's go smash that early life button, fam. Known for role in leadership of Exum. You know you fucked up when you've got all this going on. Youngest daughter of billionaire philanthropist and former Seagram Liquor chairman Edgar Bronfman Sr. As president of the World Jewish Congress! Every fucking time! Every fucking time! Just remember, the next time some M2F trans queer radical, pronouns she, her on Twitter is telling you that it's just you're engaged in a paranoid conspiracy. Just fucking remember that all you gotta do is hop on Wikipedia, smash that fucking early life button, and shit like this falls out. The fucking daughter of the president of the World Jewish Congress! All right. So now I can give her the proper pronunciation. A Claire Bronfman, man. There you go. Catherine Oxenboig. I'm not even going to look that one up. And Alison Mack. I'm not even going to look that one up either. You both get in the voice. I know. Now, if famous people, the police, and the courts are involved in this sort of thing, as they'd have to be, to cover up so much for so long, wouldn't say the FBI also be involved? Well, yes, because the FBI is the personal police force of the Jews. And once again, if you think that's a paranoid conspiracy, the boys did a pretty good rundown on it. The FBI is not the law enforcement agency you think it is. It is exclusively a Jewish secret police. Yep. Look up The Finders. It's a fascinating and horrifying story. I wonder who did something on The Finders. I wonder if I can very easily find that, actually. Well, there you go. Why, thank you, Full Blast Forever. And congratulations. You are the top search results for Mr. Medica Finders. That's some fascinating shit if you haven't seen it. Fascinating and also horrifying. I recommend a stiff drink, but then again, you're taking the recommendation for a stiff drink from a guy who got himself blackout drunk getting halfway through the Wikipedia article on Mark Dutroux. Of course, elite pedophiles operate all over the world, not just in the English-speaking world. Take, say, Belgium, home of one of the most infamous criminals, Mark Dutroux. Oh, speak of the devil, and we really are speaking of the fucking devil when we talk about Mark Dutroux, who ran an international pedophile ring, apparently for the elite. Oh, there's nothing fucking apparent about it. The guy is directly linked to 21 murders. And they're just the quote-unquote unsolved cases, not the ones he got convicted for. Look up the case of Laura Sisbly. Wait, friend of Hillary Clinton? Time for that early life button again. Oh, I heard that boop. Oh, donations. All right, hang on. We will check donations after we slog through Larry Sanger's thing. Apologies to keep you waiting. But we just got to quickly smash that early life button. The New Life Children's Refuge. Oh, you know where this is going, don't you? You know where this is fucking going. The New Life Children's Refuge case. What's this? A group of 10 American Baptist missionaries from Idaho attempted to cross the Haiti-Dominican Republic border with 33 Haitian children, most of whom were not orphans and had families. Jailed for 6 months for arranging irregular travel. Yeah, what the fuck do you think was going on there, team? What the fuck do you think was happening there? Now let's have a look here. Let's have a look at this fucking Laura Sisbury character. What do you reckon she's going to turn out to be, team? That's funny. Laura Sisby redirected from Laura Sisby. It's a direct redirection. Laura Sisby takes you directly to New Life Children's Refugee case. So you can't even smash that early life button. Oh, how fucking convenient. She actually went to jail? Oh, she might actually be a goy if she actually saw prison time. So she did this in 2010 and she's fucking hanging around with Hillary Clinton, huh? Sisby married and now goes by the name Laura Gaylor, or Laura Sisby Gaylor. Gaylor. Now that's on the nose. If she ain't a yenta, then she's a yenta by marriage now. So once again, just doing a surface examination there, I now feel completely justified to read out that name as Laura Sisby. And now I'm afraid we're getting into territory that's not just horrifying, it's also controversial. Because Sisby, or as she goes now, Sisby Gaylor, is a Hillary Clinton friend. Why would Hillary Clinton be friends with someone who went to jail for child trafficking? Her Haitian charity, oh god damn it, charity, accused of trafficking children. WikiLeaks is famous partly because of the Clinton-Sisby connection, but also because multiple leaked emails are filled with bizarre phraseology that makes sense if they were organising child sex abuse. Comet Ping Pong became famous as the location of the Pizzagate shooting. Thing is, he took one shot and it hit the disk drive of Clinton friend, Democratic operative, James Alefantius. Oh, Alefantius, sorry. There's similar things. Very similar things. Instagram posts associated with restaurant personnel were disturbing. Did you know that, team? The guy the mad dude who showed up, like motivated by right-wing conspiracy theories. The only shot he took was directly into a hard drive. They didn't cover that. Didn't cover that there. Yeah, Faust says, damn, what the hell is this Jay doing, committing suicide? Maybe he's trying to become one of those shtetls of metal. Jews you can use, of which, it's such an exclusive group that the only shtetls of metal I can think of is what's his name? Robert Unz and that chess dude, Bobby Fischer. Maybe we can add Larry Sanger to that list. We can have 3 shtetls of metal now after this post. The plethora of elite child sex abuse makes... That's a... Oh, maybe you made it... Let me try and read it again. The plethora of elite child sex abuse makes that by political operatives more conceivable, doesn't it? Oh, that's odd phraseology. That's Twitter. Spelling mistakes happen. I started taking that stuff more seriously after I learned about Epstein and the rabbit hole. Look up Denny Hazard, another Clinton associate, and Anthony Weiner. Look up Denny Hazard. Okay, Larry, I will. Thanks, Larry. Maybe I should just leave Wikipedia open. We may be doing some more smashing that early life button. Oh dear. Oh dear, that doesn't look promising. Look at this fucking frog. This motherfucking fly lands on his nose like a fucking forked tongue is gonna like shoot out at light speed. Look here. Convicted of financial crimes related to repeated incidents of child molestation. He became the highest ranking elected official in US history to have served a prison sentence. But not the highest rank one to have deserved to have served a prison sentence. That's for goddamn sure. Okay. Preceded by Newt Gingrich. Succeeded by Nancy Pelosi. Yeah, I think he is a goy, but he's a butt goy. But, goddamn if he doesn't have that look. You know the one. And if you don't know the one, Google's gonna help me. Well, DuckDuckGo's gonna help me. This is the image search results for Pedo Smile. I'm not quite getting all I want here, but this sort of thing. That sort of thing. That sort of thing. Actually, shit, that's uncanny. Let's blow that one up. That little thin-lipped smile. Or smirk. Picking up what I'm putting down here, team? Now remember, physiognomy is real. People sometimes really do look exactly what your brain associates them with. I'm going to take a break now. Yeah, you're probably going to get your fucking neck broken. I will probably come back to this thread later. Please help by filling in all the blanks. Supply evidence about each of these tweets and make it a thread, a resource for everyone. This thread could go on in this fashion for dozens of tweets. Oh my god, it does fucking continue. Now, what's interesting here is, look at all the replies. I could have done a whole goddamn... I could have done 2 shows just on probably going through the replies, probably. Yeah, Faust says press F for Larry Sanger. Yeah, probably. This dude gonna fucking do a triple Lutz flip off the top of a bunk bed with a toilet paper noose. Alright, let me just see how far... Oh god, he goes on. Alright. Well, he took a break, so we're going to take a quick break. I'm going to read out the co-fires. We may actually put on an interstitial. See how we go. Okay, so Kyle Kugelbitzer says cheers and gave $30. Thank you very much, Kugelbitzer. I appreciate that a lot. Helps me feel like I'm not just screaming into the void here. All right. What do you reckon, team? Should we take a brief break, or just keep plowing through Larry here? Oh, that's right. There's a delay. Everyone's pressing F for Larry. Oh, Larry, you are not going to be lucky, Larry. Not after these tweets. Or the other alternative is they just ignore him. Like they ignore all this shit. I mean, there's absolutely no way that they didn't take note of it. Super Action Channel. Damn, we're almost at 2 dongers. Yes, that's right. We're coming in at a solid 1 donger and 4 cogs at the moment. Alright. Well, the popular consensus seems to be that we continue. What's this? Play fly to the moon, Rand. We know you want to. Ah, he's right, you know. I do want to. Alright, team. We'll be back in a minute. And yes, I knew what version you wanted. Fry me to the moon!
Fly me to the moon, let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, darling, kiss me. Fill my heart with song and let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you. あんたバカ。違う。こんなの私じゃない。ねえ、私のこと好き？誰もだから私を見て。Fly me to the moon, let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, darling, kiss me. Fill my heart with song and let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you. Fill my heart with song and let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love
Now, some people are asking, what was that one? What's her channel? I will link you. I'll drop that link there in the chat, and you can discover it for yourself. Sadly, I cannot play the jazz version, because the jazz version is extremely copyrighted. Last time I did that, I got a little slap on the hand from Suzan there. Said, don't do that, which is a shame, because, so I can play 30 seconds. How long does it take? How much can you get away with without a copy strike? Like 20 seconds? This is really good, but unfortunately, it's copyrighted, so we'll only do like a 15-second sample.
It's time for me to respect the ones you love mean more than anything. So with sadness in my heart, feel the best thing I could do.
And sadly, thanks to Susan's robots, that's pretty much all I'm willing to do at the moment. Thank you, Suzan. But yeah, doesn't that guy just sound exactly like good old Mickey Blue Eyes, huh? Pause it every 14 seconds for 14 seconds. Well, I know that some of you guys in the chat there, you know, you really look like you wanted to pop your cork over that half Brazilian, half Japanese lass there. But I'm the only one doing the cork popping around here. All right, let's get back to Lucky Larry here. I mean, soon to be very unlucky Larry. All right. Oh yes, we've got to put our background musics back on. Continuing this popular thread now. Some think this is all some big crazy conspiracy theory. Yes, because it literally is. Like, it's a big crazy conspiracy. It's a big conspiracy by crazy people who happen to be rich and getting away with it. Well, let's talk about that. And by the way, the whole thing of making conspiracy theories associated with being unhinged was literally a psyop by the FBI in the 60s. I think it was a joint thing. The CIA was involved as well. The whole idea was that anyone claiming that the government was being less than forthright was engaging in conspiracy theories. Many of the more popular unhinged ones, you know, Hollow Earth, Flat Earth, all that sort of stuff. That is literally a fucking like gay op by the government. We put out this really absurd shit, and then we're derisive of it. We say, oh, look, conspiracy theories. And then when someone's actually criticizing what the power structure's up to, that's a conspiracy theory too. Oh, next thing you'll be telling me the moon's made out of cheese. Yeah, your government did that, so they couldn't be criticized legitimately. A vile delinquent says, now seems like a good time to say thanks for not getting drunk last night. Ah! Oh, that one. The countdown to champagne taking me away. Actually, champagne works fast. It's because of the carbonation. I've said it before, but there's a reason it's called leg opener. The carbonation irritates the sphincters in the large intestine, allowing for the rapid absorption of alcohol. And pro tip to the lads out there: if you're taking a girl out for a drink, get her a champagne. Say, would you like champagne? Have you ever tried it? Most of them haven't. And she'll get very giggly very quickly after just one glass. I mean, it's just speeding up the process, so we're not being underhanded here. Still the same level of alcohol. Does that fly me to the drunk and let me pass out on the floor? Something like that. Alright. Well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about the conspiracy of elite child rapists. Now, I realize, like, giving dating tips while reading out this thread is possibly not the best combination. Some say conspiracy theories. The phrase is itself deeply misleading, a psyop invented by the CIA. Holy shit! I didn't even read that bit yet. Y'all think I'm full of shit, but the head of Wikipedia said it too. How about that? Like getting fucking backed up in rapid fashion there. But look, there are bona fide crazy people with bona fide crazy theories, right? Let me tell you something. There are sources for everything in the thread above. Epstein and pals, pedo wood cases, Jimmy Savile, the Catholic Church, all these other crazy sounding cases. They sound crazy because the basic reality is horrific. But you can look up every one. They're all facts. Putting them together aside each other, also not crazy. But when I put them together, what conclusions do I draw? I'll be honest. Nothing definite? Many clues suggest we need to keep digging. Both parts are important. Well, he's taking the pragmatic route on that. I'm gonna say that there's more than enough evidence for at least half the shit. Like, there is hard, solid, rock solid fucking evidence for half the stuff he's cited. Because it's stuff that's been discussed. It's stuff that's even been discussed on the kill stream. It's stuff that the boys have done deep dives, my guy, into. And this shit is very real. But I guess he is doing a presentation to normies. So he does have to do the pragmatic, even-handed thing and say, look, you know, nothing definite, but definitely stuff here that we need to keep digging at. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. That's right, guy. I know that's not the confident answer many wanted to hear, but it is the most important, so let me explain why. Well, I'm gonna let you explain why, Larry, and, you know, I liked your music video, but I gotta finish off this glass and then pour myself some champagne. Just a second. Here we go. Oh, sweet nectar, take me away. As a philosopher, I was tempted to say, as a philosopher king. As a philosopher. Like, I'm sorry, like, no offense, Larry, but like, that's straight up Stefan Molly. I'm a philosopher. I'm a philosopher king. $1. Oh, Faust says sophisticated, not drinking straight from the bottle like a true bogan. You'd even be, to even more horrify you, I'm actually pouring it into a proper stemmed glass and everything. I do actually have a couple of genuine crystal glass champagne glasses, but for obvious reasons I don't take them into the office. Yeah, accidents happen, and seeing as it's got my name engraved into it, I'd rather it not get fucking broken. As a philosopher, I deeply studied theories of knowledge, evidence, and justification. My methodology's principles have not changed. My methodological principles have not changed. I am not impressed by inconclusive evidence. Neither are many decent people. They are put off by unjustified judgments of others. Right. And we are talking about horrific crimes and justice here. Oh, Fatty Caddy, as a philosopher, I can inform you Reddit is a superior board. Yeah, and it's statements like that why no one takes anyone who says as a philosopher seriously. Troubled Turtle says, wait, do you not have a proper cozy? Yes, I have a proper cozy. I'm just simply saying that I'm not taking my crystal glass champagne into the office. Because it may never make it back out again. Alright. And we are talking about horrific crimes and justice here. The stakes are high. It is as important as anything that we be quite sure of our conclusion, so justice is done. I and most people care a lot about that and don't want to play fast and loose with reputations. Oh, I just realised, sorry, another Ko-Fi did roll in during the interstitial, and I should have read that before we launched into it, so I will break the flow here for a second. Brandon bought a coffee and said thank you for your service, and gave $12 and a YouTube link, which I'll just pull that up and I'll set it next to Trouble Turtles one. Content for later. See, this is what I'm talking about. Zero prep? No. Dynamic content. Dynamic content, team. Oh, that song. And you know what? For $12, I'll play that song. No worries. Also reminds me of a joke at your service. Yeah. You hear about a woman goes in for a... Yeah. It's such a horrific dad joke that I need to pause the music so it's not sullied. Woman goes into the doctor's office, goes into the obstetrics office to get a pap smear, and doctor introduces himself, and she says, "Well, I'm dilated to meet you," and he says, "Well, that's your cervix, madam." I'll turn the music back on now. Actually, that is one of my favorite things to say on Twitter when somebody's like doing like really shitty cold takes on Twitter, and also throw it in. And I'm a police officer. I've spent 25 years in the Marines and boomer takes QAnon. I just like to, yeah. Thank you for your cervix. Oh, it pisses them off. Alright, let's get going. But this is very difficult because some powerful people have gone to extraordinary lengths to hide their crimes systematically. Some possible tactics have come out most strikingly in the case of Epstein, Savile, and the Catholic Church. Imagine that for whatever reason you wanted to hide a system of child trafficking. You would kill a few people to keep everyone quiet. Oh, Mark DeTrue. But you would also closely associate hard facts about the system with, forgive me, crazy-sounding, unverifiable crap. Hey, how dare you? I love my crazy-sounding, unverifiable crap. Nah, not really. What could be a more effective cover than to infiltrate the truth movement with a bunch of people who sound nuts? Who wants to associate with a bunch of nuts? Not many of us. Wait, how many people follow me on Twitter now? Look, this will never change. Justice requires good evidence and a rational commitment to truth. Oh, god damn it, I'm fucked. Everyone knows that justice requires sobriety. Oh, damn it. Well, that's it. That's the end of my internet career, team. I'm fucking shutting it down right here. It's over! It's over. Play him off the stage, team. I'm never gonna make it. So if the people talk... That's an F for justice. It's over. So if the people talking about child sex trafficking sound like lunatics, they clearly don't have justice at heart. So others will stay far away. That's how it works. I leave you, therefore, with this bit of advice. Do you want to see justice done finally? Oh, thank you, Abo Disrespector. I wonder whose name that... I wonder who that could be. I'll get to that in a minute. I think Larry's about to wrap up here. Do you want to see justice done finally? Then get together. Collaborate on documents. Make sure someone really good at writing and reasoning is leading your group. So not me. Someone else, please. Split up work. Set ground rules. Rule 1. Nothing goes into the document that lacks good evidence. For example, some of my good friends love to talk about occult symbolism in popular media. Go ahead, share some. Let me editorialize here for a minute. That is absolutely happening, and it's not because it casts magic spells or anything. It's because the the elites, the European-style socialists, if you know what I mean. I'm being very oblique here, and you know, I don't want to be too open about it. But you know, those central banker types, they are actually obsessed with numerology and symbolism. They really are. There's a reason they do things on certain dates. There's a reason a certain number has been thrown around in newspapers for over 120 years. They are obsessed with symbolism and numerology. I don't think it actually casts magic spells. I don't think their volcano demon actually has any real power. But they seem to think it does. And numerology and symbolism keeps popping up. In some ways, I think it's just a flex on the goy. It's a little symbol from one to another. Hey, look, you know, it's a shit post. That is elite shit posting. You know, you'll get it, you'll nod, and you'll go, ha, very clever. The sheep didn't notice. Here's the problem. The symbols don't speak for themselves. It's too easy and credible to believe they have innocent meanings. What we need now are the rare quotes from people who are really in a position to know. Saying the symbols really do mean what you say they mean. But even that is not great evidence, as symbols have multiple meanings. Credibility is key. Take another example. One of my friends loved to talk about suspicious connections, e.g. Bill Clinton and Jeffrey Epstein. This is interesting but unpersuasive. Everyone knows that guilt by association is a fallacy. Look, I think when it comes to raping Bill and Jeffrey doing a triple Lutz off the top of the fucking prison bed Epstein, I think the evidence is persuasive. I mean, how many trips? Only 6 trips to Little St. James Island there, Bill? Did you get to see the inside of the fucking temple? Bet he got to see the inside of a lot of other things too on Little St. James Island. Associations are best used as grounds for digging for real facts. Fair. That's fair. Pattern recognition. Well, you'll notice that one thing the media doesn't like you to do is pattern recognition. I think it was Steve Saylor who said years ago that the media's true war is a war on noticing. They don't want you to notice. Val says it's a triple Lindy, goddammit. Yeah, but Lutz is a funny word, so I just like saying triple Lutz. I don't care if you think there is evidence for reptilians and their wonky, inhuman eyes, parallel fairy worlds, or flat Earth, or against the moon landing. Parallel fairy worlds, that's pretty awesome, actually. I hope that's real. Keep all garbage away from your document. That will make it look ridiculous. Or maybe that's the point. Some people think child sex trafficking is associated with Satanism. The Finders, anyone? Yeah, it actually is. Once again, these people are obsessed with symbolism and numerology. I don't think there's any real magic to it. They just like it to be like a little signal to those who know. That evil elites are taking a youth-enhancing drug called adrenochrome, made from terrified children. Well, Larry, I think there might be more to that than the moon landing or parallel fairy worlds. We might have to do a bit more of a deep dive into adrenochrome at some stage. You know, if the boys have already hinted at it. Maybe the boys will do a dive into that. I mean, we already know that there is literally facial creams that are only available to celebrities that literally contain the stem cells out of the foreskins removed from young children. Infants. If you must get into that, for God's sake, go very, very slowly. And, well, if you're getting into children, you have to go very, very slowly. Oh, God! Oh, no. Here we go. Here's terrible joke of the year number 2. What's the worst part about being a pedophile? Feeling like you'll never fully fit in. If you must get into that, for God's sake, go very, very slowly, yes. And and do not lower standards of evidence. God damn it. It's called gallows humor, people. Gallows humor. Something I haven't mentioned yet is QAnon. What's my take? I don't know. I'm not a spy or a decoder. If you can mine that information source for real evidence, more power to you. Telling most people to go straight to the Q drops is pretty obviously a failing strategy. If real evidence is there, organize it so people can understand it. Don't do it alone, but with sober, smart people who are good writers and thinkers. Sorry, but the only way you're going to be able to pill everyone else about the reality of child sex trafficking. Oh, it is the only way you're going to pill everyone else on the reality of child sex trafficking. I like how he's dropping the pill reference. I don't think the Wikipedia mods like, and the Reddit mods as well, don't like the red pill, blue pill thing. The media certainly hates it. So Larry's fucking going all out. Like this fucking mad lad. He's going all out, team. He's going for it. I said, I've lost my hair. I've got nothing else to go. I've got nothing else to lose. Sorry, Larry. Oh no, did I fuck up my thing? Oh no, where were we? 46? That's why I liked everything, so now it's much easier to track where I was up to. There you go, 48. Oh, 96 viewers, 93. We've almost got an entire 2 dongas. Gonna trade in my cogs for a donga. Am I going to start such a group? Nope. I need to work on my nascent consulting business and have a homeschooled family to take care of. Why are you homeschooling, Larry? Are there things that you wouldn't like your children to be exposed to in state education? Huh. So I have no time. I will look in on and advise efforts, but you must organize yourselves. Feel free to use this thread to do so. Good luck. Well, more power to you, Larry, and I'm more than happy to recommend that the people who want to get themselves involved in such a project ought to do so. Now, as you can see, this has generated some interest. I mean, there's definitely though I imagine it would be somewhat dry. There's definitely a very long form either YouTube, actually probably cobbling together a YouTube rather than doing a stream would be probably the best way to go through all the info people have dropped throughout that thread. Oh good, as of 11 hours ago he's still not dead. Stay safe out there, Larry. I hope you're gonna need it. I hope you're just as lucky a Larry as the other Jewish Larry who crippled the insurance on the Twin Towers a week before they were hit. All right, so that was Larry. Now we've got a couple of co-fires, and we've also got a couple of things to play. Abo Disrespector. $12, thank you very much. It says, as a philosopher, I wish you a happy Seppo Easter. May all of Christendom rise up against the Yids, or whatever you're allowed to say instead. Oh, whoops. Hey Susan, I'm just reading super chats here. No, hey. No steppy. No steppy, please. Oh, we did it! We're at a post 2 donga world now. Oh my god, Trouble Turtle, was this your fucking link? Okay, this is where I drop down to 30 viewers again. He turned himself into a pickle. Funniest shit ever. I'll pay that one. All right. And for some reason, you know, for a completely unrelated reason to what's been going on here, somebody thought it was appropriate to drop this one in a super chat. I draw absolutely no conclusions between what we've just read and what this person wanted me to play. None at all.
All right, everybody, let's show them how we do it here in Tucson, Arizona. Please welcome, all the way from Kazakhstan, they are Barot and his Cowboy Astana Band. Give them a nice round of hoot and holler and applause.
Oh shit, it's actually been copyright claimed. Look! The fucking WMG's fucking claimed it. They've claimed the parody. Which means they'll claim me if I play the parody. Fuck. Hang on, we'll just do a 15-seconder of it, right? We can't be having Susan and her bots crawling around here. All right, that will. Actually, I think I might have enjoyed playing that whole thing, but yeah, I just my newly developed Suzan reflexes kicked in, and I'm like, let me just go check see if this been fucking claimed. And oh, what a surprise! What a fucking surprise! It had been claimed. Well, I've got some content for you that hasn't been claimed. But I'm going to have to be careful about how I play it, because it does drop a couple of words, and I really don't want to get struck again. But the boys covered something very, very relevant, and it was on the Friday edition. And I got to log in again. Damn, second. It was on the Friday edition of the boys. Pretty good. And at least for the first part, they don't drop any of the naughty words. They're just doing the whole card, the whole card facts. So the cold hard facts. But then it starts to get spicy towards the end. So we might only just play the first half, though it's a hell of a fucking segment. It's well, we can start with the bit where. Let's see, we're back on. Excellent. This little bit at the start of the Friday pay Chad show is relevant because, well, I don't know, people who follow Bad Tits, and you know, she's not a bad person, but she's really been cope posting hard, stuck at home, and this isn't really a dig at her. It's kind of a dig. Not too much of a dig. I already posted this one at her. Who to tag for this? But she's been doing some lolbert posting. So for those who say like, "Oh, America's never done this before," like, yeah, well, here we go during the Spanish flu. This is from 1918. Wear a mask or go to jail. Yeah, right. America's never done quarantine procedures before. This is an infringement like never before. No, it's not. No, it's fucking not. And what was the other one? Yes, I tweeted this just before I went to bed last. Tweets that are not going to age well. I don't believe these stories. My tiny town of 300 has a hospital that has thousands of masks just because hospitals already keep thousands of masks on hand as it is. There's not been enough patients for any hospital to run out of a mask supply. Now, she's saying that in response to this thing where a nurse quit, just straight up quit. Now, she's apparently not aware, I'm assuming that she's not aware, that this sort of shit is actually going on everywhere. And so we're just going to play this little bit right at the start where a Jamaican nurse is yelling at the Chinese hospital administrator as he loads boxes upon boxes of protective equipment into his personal vehicle. And Vimo lets me down. Oh, there's nothing I love to see on stream more than that spinning circle, team. Yeah, give me more of that.
20-minute preps, so the computer just like caught us.
There we go.
Saying it.
Items are sold out until you restock. And
Oh, this is pretty good. Oh, this was the Amazon guy going, dildos ain't essential items, yo.
Black man in a mask. Normally I'd run screaming from Black man in a mask, but I think, hello, Amazon and dildos.
they should not be selling non-essential items. If you go on the website, all the essential items are sold out. Until you restock and until you close this building, shut it down. Dildos are not essential items. Books for kids, yes, but
For
dildos?
kids? Wait, what? Books for kids.
No.
Now, this guy's apparently, like, he tries to shit on him. He doesn't really make any great points. But yeah, like, are dildos essential items? Oh, Jesus. Look at that face. All right. Let's, oh yeah, this, you guys may have already seen this on Twitter, but, you know, it bears... I have to be careful with these lads because they might have dropped the N-bomb when they were watching the guy drinking the Coke. So I'll have to fat finger the fucking pause button just in case.
This stuff's real.
That shit, coronavirus. We spreading that shit.
Because like
that's not funny.
But I think I'm pretty sure it's fake. Like they're just gonna go buy all those juices.
How is it fake?
Because you know how easy it is to be like, oh, somebody opened this juice, I'm not gonna buy it.
Yeah, so that clip was going around. Now, what I want to get, the Jamaicans yelling at the Chinese guy.
Are we going to talk about the Israeli government procuring like all kinds of PPE from all over the world?
Well, yeah, that's also going. Oh, yes, here it is! Oh, I was telling you, I knew the boys had the picture. Let me just full screen it there. That's the guy. That's that Byron Feinheim guy who had like literally millions of masks that he was selling back to hospitals. Look at this fucking dude. Look at his fucking Facebook picture. He fucking melded himself into like this like majestic background. And that's what he fucking looks like. That is his fucking profile picture. That's the guy who was stealing all his masks. Jesus Christ. Oh, you know, I'd even play the Having the Gita music, except apparently that is fucking copyrighted now too. Oh, let's see. Yeah, there it is. Boris Feldheim. Oh, Boris Feldheim. Oh, please, can you sell us a mask? We don't want to get the coof. Please sell us a mask. Oh, that's fine there. I can set you up, but it's gonna be $12 a mask there. That's right. He did literally coof on the feds, and the boys speculate actually, and they may have a point that the only reason he actually got arrested was because he pissed the feds off by coofing on them. He would have got away with a fine or a citation for hoarding all the masks, but when he actually coofed on the feds, they're like, all right, fuck you. Yeah, Faust says, seriously, this guy is a fucking meme. Isn't he just? Like, I mean, you know, we talk about every time, but like, Jesus Christ. He's even got his little hat, and like, if it was just his profile picture, if it was just him in profile, you know, that'd be bad enough. But like the effort that went into melding himself into like the back of one of those like you remember this used to be the thing, people would go and hang them on their walls, those giant wide lens photography of beautiful landscapes. He goes and fucking melds himself into one of those. All right, let's. Here it is. Oh, they played it straight after. Good. All right, here we go, team. Let me just put that back in the little box there, so we can have our chat on the side. We can have our iguanas and our bobbing heads as we go. Here we go. You're gonna love this.
These like secluded Orthodox communities, and they all just start koofing. Like,
Yeah,
there was
I've
that
seen
video
several
of
of
those
these.
little kids koofing. And then if you look, it's not just the little kid koofing. If you look behind him, you see people in what look like either police or medical uniforms, like trying to deal with these people. And then they're all fucking koofing. And that's how they like basically are trying to get.
Yeah, I saw one little kid yelling Nazi, Nazi, and coughing, and yelling Nazi, Nazi, and coughing.
Oh, Faust, the one that you sent me earlier. That's the one that they're referencing there. Nazi.
Coughing. It's like, how are we the bad guys? It's like, just fucking like roll these people up and get rid of them.
So what is this right here? What are we looking at here?
I don't know.
This guy's got.
This is going to be some kind of Jewish PPE scam right here. I'm not really sure, but this guy just rolled. Yeah, there's a little kike walking with this guy's rolling a hand truck full of metal.
Oh, this is the problem with playing the boys. They drop them so smooth. Like it's hard to preempt it.
Medical supplies out of this hospital.
Because the Jew.
Oh, what's up with this black CNA over
Leave the
here?
box. Make him carry it. No, leave it. Pilot, make him carry them. No, pilot, leave it.
Oh, it wasn't a Chinese guy. Holy shit! Look at this dude. Got his piles of boxes body checked by the big Jamaican nurse. Leave it, make him pick up the boxes. And
Pilot, leave it. Make him carry it.
I want to hear this fucking guy.
Wait a minute. So we got like a fresh off the boat Somalian over here working as a nurse.
Yelling,
is that
leave
what's
it, they
happening?
can carry. I don't know. I guess I should.
Let's just let's keep rolling. I want to see what's going on.
Well,
here.
let me start at the beginning. There's sound that may.
There's that bumper clot.
Okay, Twitter. Thanks.
Yeah, of course. Now pause.
I started the video over. That means it has
like
to. Yeah.
is some reason this hot like maybe this guy works at the hospital and he's like helping this Jew like take these
Yeah, I'm not
materials
sure what this
elsewhere.
is. Is he? I don't know if they're refusing a sale or if this Jew is like.
Get out to his car. These are the supplies that we're supposed to be using for the virus. Now it's going out the building.
Why?
It's going into a car.
Yeah, it's a Jamaican.
It's going into a car. And I'm telling this to the Minister of Health. This is supposed to go to the Minister.
I didn't know that. Didn't know you guys had a Minister of Elf? But I hope the Ministry of Elf is looking after those elves.
Minister of Health. We have people with the virus in the building, and now this thing is going in his car. He's moving it out the building. Come on the phone. Merely come on your phone.
What?
This is going into the administrator car. When let them workers them unprotected. They're leaving us unprotected. Very unprotected. All of this stuff now is going into the administrator car.
How does that? Like, what's so amazing about this is like he's got the black guy carrying all the boxes to load into his car, and the Jew's not carrying a thing. He's just strolling along. What was that? What was that quote off the Illinois Nazis of the Blue Brothers? The blacks, the Jews are using the blacks as muscle against you. He literally is. The Jew is using the black as muscle against you.
Can you believe me? Millie, where your phone?
So
Pilot, leave the box. Make him carry it. No.
so these
Leave
people are
it.
all fucking like Caribbean or some shit or Jamaican. or
Yeah, I
whatever.
feel like I'm just watching footage from another country. Is this supposed to be?
Well, you might.
Look, we'll just we'll just pause it there. Their commentary is probably going to get spicy at this point. So I think that's the perfect freeze frame to leave it at. Hang on, let me put it in full screen so you can see the little hat in better profile. Look at look at it. What needs to be said? What more needs to be said? There is a Jew, the hospital administrator Jew, supervising the black loading PPE equipment that he's stealing from the hospital into his personal vehicle. So let's and as the Jamaican lady said, there are people who have the virus in the building. He's taking all the supplies. He's leaving us unprotected. I don't believe these stories. My tiny town of 300 has a hospital that has thousands of masks just because hospitals already keep thousands of masks on hand as it is. There's not been enough patients for any hospital to run out of a mask supply. Well, let me tell you this. I bet if you went and did an audit on their inventory right now, I bet they don't have thousands of masks anymore. I bet something like this happened, and it didn't get the attention this one's getting because nobody's doing corona stuff in your hospital yet. How much do you want to bet as soon as there's a coronavirus in this outbreak in this tiny town of 300 that you find out that those thousands of masks just aren't there anymore? So as I said when I quote tweeted, tweets that will age badly. This is why that tweet will age badly. And yes, I'll stake a little bit of rep on that. I'll stake a little bit of clout on it. That tweet will not age very well. All right, so we did an aside into the coof here, but there's another thing they did on the Friday Pay Chat episode that dovetails well into the stuff we've been talking about. Dovetails well into the elite abuse of children, and the stuff we've read out about Marc Dutroux. And also reaffirms the stuff I've been saying, and not just myself, but other people have said it as well. For regardless of our recent disagreements, Bibble completely agrees with me on this one. Gays are a product of sexual abuse, and they perpetuate sexual abuse. And what's the best source? What's the best source for backing that up? Well, you just let gays speak for themselves. And we're about to let gays speak for themselves.
That's how I dance to my own song. Turn it down. All right, we're back. We're back. I have pizza with pineapple on it.
Oh, if that was a bad choice. They actually do point it out later in the episode that Pap Sven wearing a tank top and eating pizza when they're about to do the thing that they're doing was not a great look.
So fucking good.
Pineapple and ham.
The brilliant how to eat pizza during coronavirus strategy I really like.
Yeah,
Like you need to put a bunch of sugar.
Wait for him to get into it.
If I could stop having a headache.
I've been doing you had dick.
Okay, here we go. So this was a Facebook group called Ramrod. Now you'll never guess what the theme of Ramrod was. And if you're already hearing the tunes of Standard Fuck Party in the back of your mind, yes, this is exactly where we're going. What's with the Star Trek background? Inside joke.
Publicly, this is just a public page. So the question is,
we want to get their intro. Now this is a decently long segment, and as I said, we'll probably only do the first bit because they start dropping the flagrant bombs pretty hot and heavy as we get. But the first half, they mostly work clean. They're just reading out these guys' Facebook posts and reacting to them, and it's content, all right. Oh boy!
And I'm looking at this called Ramrod, where they have a question that now has 800 comments on it from the gay guys that participate in this gay page on Facebook. Which this thing, first of all, the Ramrod should not be allowed. Like this should get shut down. Like you shouldn't have this. Not only have it even privately, but not even publicly. This is just a public page. So the question is, how old were you when the first time you had a dick, or how old were you the first time you had dick? Is the thing. So you're like Xing people's names out. I see no reason to do that.
Oh, this isn't.
Oh, by the way, I want to point out the floating microphone that some people were questioning that was in the previous video. What's going on there is Sven has just not chroma keyed it out or readjusted his thing. Usually around this area is where Mike sits, but, well, hang on, let's do the full screen thing here just for a sec. Mike and Alex are down here because due to the coof, they're all working remotely. So the floating microphone, normally Mike's there, and Sven has boomered and just not trimmed that out. So that's what's going on there. I know that's going to distract people, so I just thought I would explain what's going on there.
Mine. This is just screenshot.
I've got the actual thread here, though. I've got the page itself.
I don't want to go to the page.
What difference does it make?
I don't know. I don't want that in my shit.
It's just a Facebook link.
All right, well, the Facebook link is
Anyway.
link's also on the forum. Fine, I'll fucking go.
Anyway, yeah, it's just, it doesn't, dude, who cares? Everyone knows why we went there. So the question is, how old were you the first time you had dick?
Oh,
and I'm just going to go down. I won't read the names. I'll just read the numbers. 6, 15, 14, 10, 16, 12, 18. Okay, 14. Here. 6, played doctor at an early age with school kids my own age. Reason why I'm a top
here's a good
slash
one.
verse.
That I just posted my current feel.
Dennis Helfin, 10, with my uncle who was 16.
Maybe we don't read their names out loud. That's fine.
Fuck
I don't want to, you know.
But
They already put this out there publicly. Someone
But it was
says,
but it was my
14.
idea. I wanted to suck him. He would just pull it out.
By the way, they're talking about the names. Should we read the names off? Should we show the names? Now, Facebook really did lock down the whole posting on pseudonyms type of thing, and I haven't been on Boomer Book for 3 years now because it's just it's an unusable piece of shit. It is for basically boomerish behavior now. Funny enough, boomers fed post really hard on Facebook and nothing ever happens to them. But look at these guys. And when we really start, this one's pretty bad, but as we get into the really bad stories, just keep in mind the fact that these people feel entirely comfortable with posting with their own names openly. Because there's no allowed stigma against this kind of behavior anymore. And in fact, if you speak out against it, you get crushed. What really killed Milo's career was talking openly about what gay people do. But here they are talking openly. But they're not faux celebrities trying to co-opt and cash in on a movement.
I would go at it. He lived with us for about a year. He lived with us for 30 to 40 times. He sucked them off, no regrets. Great memory. Probably why I'm addicted to Coom to this. Wow.
This is a conversation between Dane and Rod. Okay, now that Rod says 4, but the first time I enjoyed it was 16, and Dane says exactly the same. And then Rod says, Dane, don't get me wrong, it wasn't horrible. I just couldn't comprehend what was really happening. It began at 4. Could have been a little earlier. I have some strange memories, but can't be certain they're not manufactured. And went through 13 various individuals. When 16, I became... So this kid was fucking raped his whole childhood. This is horrible. When 16, I became involved with a military person 20 years older. Looking back, I recognized that these individuals were child predators. No harm. I survived. and don't have any ill will towards him. I don't know about that no harm there, Rod. I think there's a lot of harm. I think I was raped by 13 people. I think what happened was, yes, looking back, you were put into a circle of gay men that raped children and passed around among them. That's why you had 13 experiences.
Is this like your rational world really is a circle jerk?
I mean, your rational world is a child predator ring. And then Dane responds, I was tied to a tree and forced to perform oral. Had numerous additional unwelcome experiences. Finally had a nice experience in my late teens. Still harbor some resentment towards the original perpetrator. But I've become comfortable with myself, who I am, and what I enjoy. Albeit I'm a little different than most.
So you're comfortable with your like being a mentally damaged defective who's had a traumatic experience that's politically incorrect to call a traumatic experience, right?
Like you were raped horribly, tied to a tree as a child, forced to perform oral sex, and now you have weird.
Is this the bad precedent
that are the result of that trauma? And I don't know what to tell you.
Is this the bad precedent? Like would these
bad precedent?
Would these child molesters be pursued under some bad precedent in some way? Like I don't know. Like this is weird. Like is there a rape accusation here? Like after years of consensual tied to a tree dick sucking, your rent boy might turn on you and say it was. I don't know. It's like very like upsetting. 9.
This is
this
bad.
guy
Here
right
we go.
here. 9 with my older brother.
Here's Chet. Chet and Bob have a little exchange here. Chet says, 8 with a cousin who was 12 and he had a huge cock. That's why I'm a bottom now. Bob says, Chet, hopefully you and your cousin still hook up. Chet, no, we haven't hooked up since he was 19 and I was 15.
Jesus.
Yeah. Yes. Bob then informs Chet that he took his first cock at 4 years old.
So are these people all like white supremacists then? I mean, I thought like if you're gonna like have sex with your cousin, it meant you were some kind of.
Here's
racialist.
Alan. Alan says 18. I was a late bloomer, but I made up for lost time.
Oh Jesus. 9 with my older brother, and then 11 with my 9/11. This was an inside job with my 23-year-old neighbor.
Well, it was.
I still play with my brother on a. Please. 9 with my older brother and 11 with my 23-year-old neighbor. So that's a situation right there. And then I still play with my brother on occasion. Yup, I'm a total pig. Don't be sad. I pursued them when I started young, not the other way around. I became an escort at 14 and loved it. Now at 44, I prefer to be a one-man pig. I don't enjoy multiple partners anymore. Fully embraced.
Can we just make liberal cat ladies sit down and read this thread? Like just force them to.
Wouldn't they just giggle? Wouldn't they just think this is hilarious? It's like, oh boys, look at you crazy young boys.
I mean, almost all of these are like the oldest I've found is early 20s, but that's rare. Most of these are below 10. And then a good amount are like between 10 and 16, and then a very, very few are like actual adult age.
4.
Yes. I'm seeing that prop up a lot.
8.
5, 8, 9,
7,
14,
6,
13, 7, 10, 15. Oh, here's 20, 13, 16, 5 or 6, 12, 16, 11, 6, 17, 15, 18, 14, 18, 12 and a half, 5 to 6. 11, 12, 14, 12, 7, 11. Dude, this is the age at which this exactly is what I'm talking about. I mean, there's 800 comments on this. Somebody could do a data thing and actually graph it. Like now Spurg is going to do that and get back to us when you do that, post it on Bang. Like actually graph this. Like what is this data here? What are we looking at? And then then some of them have details like oral this age, anal this age, like oral at 6, anal at 12, and I'm like, oh my god.
This guy there's been studies done on this stuff. Michael and Grover have a nice little exchange. Michael says 6. Grover says, "You go, dude. I was only sniffing butts at that age. First dick with cum was a hot high school sophomore at 9 years old." And then Michael hits back. He was my mom's best friend's son, 16 years old. I walked in on him in the shower and told him that he had a nice pee-pee. He asked me if I wanted to taste it. I did.
Oh my god.
Then he asked if I wanted to see how grown-ups do it, and he fucked me. We fucked every day for 15 years until he moved away. And Grover responds, "Damn, that is some awesome history. Fucking gave me wood."
I just want to pause here at this point and say that, for all the adverse watchers out there who are thinking like, oh, this is a great opportunity to hit the hate speech button. What hate speech? All we're doing is reading off what gay people say to each other. Is it hate speech when they say it? Or only when people outside the community pay attention? Can paying attention to something be construed as hate speech? So trick question. Of course it can.
Michael says, I was 6, not going into details. It was too dark and pervy for Facebook. I don't think so, actually.
Doesn't seem like it.
Promoted content on Facebook.
So then Bob says, willing or forced? And Michael says, mixed. Kelly
So you're
happened
raped.
to me at the same age. Yeah, all of these people were raped as children. Gay people were raped as kids. That's what gay means.
And
it means you were raped as a kid.
What if this was a page where it was women talking about their sexual experiences, and this is what it looked like? Like the headlines would be raging about this rape epidemic of underage girls.
Oh, here we go. Wyatt says, I was
Wyatt?
6. Wyatt. Wyatt
Because
says
I had
he
my
was
first
6.
tummy at 21 after I left the political movement that I was so happy with on the internet.
All right. All right. No, this is a different Wyatt. I'm not.
I know it's a different Wyatt. Jesus.
Not that Wyatt. Not Wyatt. Okay. Wyatt says 6 was a couple of older boys about 16. I remember incredible excitement, would relive it in a heartbeat. And it's like, dude, like this is what happened. This is what happens to your brain. Like I don't like it's ugly and dark to look at some aspects of how people are. But one of them that I think we can say with some confidence is when you have these experiences when you're young, like something in your brain happens and you start to want to relive them and you start liking it and get excited by it. And it's the trauma shit. Like
it's a defense against trauma. Like you tell yourself that you liked it, and now a lifetime of like being a disgusting pervert.
And then doing it to
this
somebody
others.
else. I mean, it's the cycle, right?
Just spreading it, yeah.
The interesting thing is, like, a lot of them say that when they were really young, and this is what's sick. Okay, so, it's a lot of the ones that say their first experience was when they were young. It was with another boy, and so that boy had also had this happen to him. So say like I was 6, and the guy that did it was 16. This is also what George Takei was saying on Howard Stern. Like when I was 13, a guy that was 19, like introduced me to sex, right? So it's not like it's necessarily.
That's a funny way of putting it. Introduced me to sex, by force against my will, when I was too young to consent to it.
Anyway, but the point is that so these are people themselves that had also had somebody. It's like the chain. You get how like the chain. Yes, all right. Yeah, fine. We see how this works, right?
Right.
So it's not even necessarily with a lot of them. It's not even necessarily that it's a parent or an uncle or a pervy older man or something. Like some of them had that experience, but then others had the experience of a boy that was already damaged, then went like targeted them for some reason. So it was like at school or something like that this happened. So
here's a good answer. I was born with a dick, molded by it.
Yeah. I mean, there's been a few people that said, yes, I was born with a dick. There's like several people that said that. But yeah. The ones that go into detail, are like the really fucked up ones.
8, my uncle. First experience at 8 with your fucking uncle.
Oh, here's Corey with some self-awareness. Corey's black. He's got a little he's got a little self-awareness here. I was 8. It really is sad to read this thread. I am and always was gay. Well, I don't know about it.
Starting at 8.
Bet on it.
You probably never thought about it until then.
But all these stories of being touched by adults is not really a pleasant thought. I call it rape/abuse. If it was a little girl, would we really be thinking she wanted it? Yes, we are men, but a child is a child, and the predators that preyed on us are sick. I think they knew something we did not fully realize and took advantage of the situation. Kind of sad, really, just my opinion.
I want to just pause it there. So what Mike just read out, now he'll reference it. He'll reference it too, but I really want to emphasize it. So someone in that thread says, "Yeah, look, I'm gay. We're all gay here, but like celebrating this sort of thing is not cool." Now, the way the community reacts is they don't attack him. Like nobody actually stumps up and defends, 6-year-olds sucking off their brother in a shower. But what they don't do is give him any upvotes. All these guys telling stories, and this is where it's very telling. They can't defend this sort of stuff, but they'll upvote it. And when someone says, "Look, dudes, some of this stuff is not cool," they just pass it over. No upvotes for you. I won't try and defend it, but you're not getting an upvote like I'm upvoting and posting about how, "Oh, your story made me hard."
He's not really getting downvotes, but it's like he's not getting many upvotes either.
Do you get downvotes on fucking? Oh, you get angry reacts, right? Sad reacts.
Yeah. I know angry reacts.
11 gave my first blowjob to a neighborhood best friend. Jesus Christ. Consenting, I was 11. Without my consent, when I was a toddler.
Yeah, see, this is a very common story.
And nobody wants to do anything about this. So when are we going to start having the stories of what made you realize you were a tranny?
Now, I'll just interject here at this point as well to say that, like, the reason I'm going to have to cut this short, because it gets into some stuff I'd really love to play, but they start dropping the words that will get this stream taken down. What I originally wanted to do was go through this and when they get to the spicy words, play a sound effect over the top of it. Do a little bit of content editing and also trim it down in size a little segment. Obviously, because I'm lazy/busy, take your choice. I didn't get around to that, but and I originally wasn't going to do this yet until I'd done it. But coming off the back of the Wikipedia thing, I thought, no, this is the absolute right time to at least play part of this content. Now, we may go back and revisit it, and we'll play the whole thing once I've cleaned it up. But I thought this dovetails into this, and this is it's the right time. The ground has been prepared. You really need to see how fucking deep this rabbi hole goes.
Like what's going to be the
that's
inception
just another
point?
level of perversion. I think that's
Right.
like, yeah.
But when are we going to see them? Where's there going to be a thread like this? I mean, it's not going to happen because they all killed themselves, so we won't live long enough to have this kind of self-reflection, probably. But
Yeah, see, a lot of them are reporting that it was another boy that did it to them early. So this is what happened.
I'm seeing a mix of all of it. Like somebody else in their age group, somebody slightly older than them, and I'm also seeing like football coaches and gym teachers and people in position of authority. It's just it's a mixture of all of it, and yeah.
With consent, 12. I was 6.
Sorry to interject yet again, though. Judging from some of the reacts here, the more interjections, the better, because you're having a bit of a struggle. If you're struggling with this, you'd struggle with the other half that I dare's not play too much of until it's cleaned up. But I just wanted to address this one because we've got people asking. Jack B. Nimble, did you and Bibble ever make up? The big man told us to drop it, and we dropped it. So hopefully that's it. So just I'll just get that out there for the people who want to know. I wouldn't mind having Bibble back on, and I would prefer not to revisit the argument. I thought it was a pointless argument. So that should be that. That should be.
Without consent. This guy says.
I like how they have to tell you that. They have to like make that distinction, like whether it's consensual or not. This is such a horror show.
Oh
This is America.
In my mouth, 12. In my ass, 14. Like a lot of them are making that distinction. I mean,
we gotta
dude.
Holy crap! If you were ever going to clip Mike Enoch for anything, there it is. Like, talk about your quotes out of context, right?
Like a lot of them are making that distinction. I mean,
we gotta.
Oh, god damn it! I always I get the clip right. Wait for it.
This is such a horror show.
This
is America.
In my mouth, 12. In my ass, 14.
Get that drop! Get that drop, boys! Sorry.
Like a lot of them are making that distinction. I mean,
we gotta.
Dude, it's crazy. Then the people that didn't do it till they were older, like, feel like chumps. Like, you got guys chiming in, like, "Oh, I was in my 20s. I guess something's weird about me." It's like, well, yes,
yeah.
No, I wasn't.
Yes, there is something weird about you. You probably watched a lot of porn until you actually did this. But in any case, I don't know. I mean, we could keep going, find more horror shows in this thread. And here we go. Jerry has a little self-awareness. This is a difficult conversation. It's like a lot of them don't seem to be having much difficulty, though.
No one's having.
Sure many of us.
This is like they're proud of this shit. They love it.
Yeah, and then Jerry mentions, "Oh, I was 16 when I did oral with my friend."
It's amazing how you get these little glimpses of truth, but it's not amplified. It's not picked up on. It doesn't actually spark a conversation.
This is the story nobody wants to tell. I mean, even like your based and red-pilled Republican Party like accepts all of this. Like, these people are fine. There's nothing to see here. There's nothing wrong.
Why not? Like, why can't we have an honest conversation and just ask that question? Like, how many of you were raped and molested, and that's the reason you're gay? And if you even get close to that, then everybody freaks out.
You're a Nazi.
They call it like a canard or something. Like, it's a fucking myth.
You were made gay by child molestation, and you don't harbor any ill will towards the person who did it from you because you think there's something great about this perverse fucking identity.
Because you probably did it to
yourself.
Somebody else by now too.
Well,
you've probably done it to somebody else.
They probably did, but even if they didn't, this perversion has become an identity that is a protected one. So they can't imagine themselves not having this problem, right? Like the dilemma of, like, if somebody snapped their fingers tomorrow and had a vaccine from being gay, would you take it? And they go, boy, not be gay anymore? I don't know.
But it's not even that. It gets worse because it goes further than that. So the issue is then, now that we have not only normalized but celebrate this thing, these people that were raped as children and now have weird sexual fetishes and are probably predators themselves, we give them access to children to virtue signal as a society. Because I believe there was a time when if you were gay, like, you couldn't be a teacher, right? That's out the window. Now you know, or if it was known that you were gay,
could be a scoutmaster until they made a big kerfuffle about that.
No hard and even though I was going to say no hard and fast rule about this, there would be, like, you wouldn't. If it came out that you're homosexual, people would not want you working at the school, and maybe you would have to go or something. But in any case, now they're giving these people access to children to prove that they are normal is like an obsession with our society, which is going to make more gay people. So there's a lot of reasons that the numbers of gay people are going up, and then the tranny thing is going up because, one, it's socially approved of, so people do it because it's socially approved of. Two, when you normalize it, and these people get to do normal things, they're not in the shadows. They get to have jobs at the library. They get to be school teachers. They get to be gym teachers. And they don't have to be ashamed of it or hide it. Well, now you opened up a whole world of access to children to them to repeat these patterns. So that's what's happening. And that's what gay acceptance does. What gay acceptance does is it creates a situation where, one, you give gay people access, and two, you have to deny that they are people that were preyed upon as children and are likely to be child predators themselves. and you have the virtue signal, and then when somebody like us, evil fucking racist Nazi Hitler loving Nazis, come and tell you these faggots are victims of abuse and they will abuse.
All right, we might be getting into the bit. Okay. He just dropped the big F. So I think we are starting to get into the bit where we're going to have to cut it short. So yeah, I do want to take this whole segment because what they get into is some, as Alex Jones would say, some super heavy galactic stuff. And it's straight fire. But unfortunately, like other stuff I've wanted to play of this, it's also very it's basically a fucking nuclear war. A lot of bombs getting dropped. And I don't need another strike, Susan. So we're gonna cut it there. I think I got the message I wanted to get across. But we are going to revisit this. I am going to get that content cut and clipped and cleaned up so it can be played on YouTube. And we are going to revisit this. Because that and what is to come is straight fire. Spitting volcano fluid. Straight up. So we are going to do that at a later date. I hope I've wet your whistle. I mean, apparently some people already want to fucking check out of that content. And look, I don't blame you. And yeah, there in the chat, yeah, so it's not $100 a minute. It is actually $10 a month. The whole joke about the paywall being like $44 an episode is a joke that kind of got out of hand to the point where Jazz Hands McFeels actually thought it was $40 a month. And he didn't know because as a contributor, he got the content for free. There was a very funny exchange on a Jazz and Jesse once where he goes, wait, I thought it was $10 a week. I thought it was $40 a month. And Sven goes, no, that was a joke that got out of hand. It's $10 a month for the rightstuff.biz. But yeah, that's the joke. $10 a minute. What? What are you guys doing talking about Star Trek? I'm paying $50 a minute for this content and you're talking about Star Trek? And that's the joke. But unfortunately, sometimes the joke doesn't translate across boundaries and people actually think these guys are charging $100 an episode. They're not. You actually... Oh, why not? Seeing as I just played a shitload of their content, let me do yet another plug for the rightstuff.biz. What your $10 a month gets you. Now FTN on Sunday is always free. By the way, I did mean to plug this already. This was an absolute cracker of an episode. If you want to keep up on your Koof and stuff, if you've been following Jim and you want more Koof updates, FTN is definitely been keeping up on that. Their Sunday episodes are always free, so you can just hop right on the rightstuff.biz and grab that. But they now also do a weekday show. They do a show on Thursday that's for pay chads only. Actually, this week they went above and beyond. They did a 2.5 hour show, free, and then they did an extra hour. There's bonus content here, just for the pay chads, where they went into a bit of the crisis with the petroleum industry, which we've covered on here. And by we've covered on here, I mean that I went and read this National Justice article. This one in particular, I think it's still up because it's been quite a popular read. Putin's Crude Revenge. That's good reading. I read it out live on this show. But so yeah, so what do you get for your $1? Well, you get an extra fascination. You get an extra FTN. And for this Sunday episode in particular, you get an extra hour. You get to actually see the video format of every tedious episode. And you get the Friday one, which is for pay chads only. You also get Brep in the car. which they usually do for most of even their weekly episodes. You only get to watch that if you're a pay Chad. The Jazz and Jesse show, this is their call-in show. They do a call-in show every Thursday. I actually got into streaming because I started calling into Jazz and Jess way back in the day. 2 years ago. In fact, I got a shout out when we played it on the last episode. Oh, we might play it again in a minute. You get that. You get Strike and Mike every Tuesday. This is some fucking great stuff. Eric Stryker and Mike Enoch. That is exclusively behind the paywall. Now, before anyone else mentions it, yes, a lot of this stuff does end up on BitChute and other places for free. Apparently, quite famously, within 4 hours of them doing a pay chat episode, you get a Mediafire link on 4chan or 8. Is 8chan still going? Well, so that's a paywalled thing anyway. But look, all this stuff you can get for free, and I mean, hell, I'm not one to criticize. You're getting bits of it for free here, but they actively want it out there and promoted and say, if you like it, then Third Rail, that's free. Borzoi always pretty. Paranormies is free as far as I know. Godcast is free. I don't listen to the Paranormies so much. I don't listen to the Godcast so much. If you're a Brit Bong, the Absolute State of Britain, that's not paywall, that's free. The Young Whites, they're free. I don't even know about these guys. But what you actually get for your $10 is, basically Strike and Mike, an extra FTN episode, and their bonuses, and you get to listen to the call-in show, and you get to call into the call-in show if you'd like, and they're always looking for new callers, and you get Prep in the Car, and the Friday episode. And every TDS, even the ones that are free to air, what's free to air is the podcast form. You can actually watch the videos if you pay chat. So what does $10 a month get you? Literally tens of hours of content every week, which I couldn't consume because I need those podcasts to help me get through the hell world that I traverse when I'm at work every week. Brandon asks, are they the opposite of milk and toast? They're very non-milk toast. I mean, the problem with them, as I've outlined, is that sometimes they do some great fucking segments that I'd love to replay and share with you, but they just drop so many N-bombs. I'm gonna have to fire up Audacity and clean the shit out of this before I can play it. All right, now we had an audio drop from Faust. I'll just play that. It's only 12 seconds.
Well, it's basically you have Kunta Kinte discovers that he takes shovel to ground and pulls out rock and gives rock to man with hook nose, and man with hook nose gives him crate of AK-47s.
What the hell's that? Yeah, look, I've spoken about the Striker versus Destiny thing before. I don't know why I decided to lead off with music. I still think it's like one of those things, you know, like I think Striker won on points, but Destiny just did his Adderall babble, his non-stop Adderall babble, and that's what he relies on. And I stand by this, the statement that I've made previously. Destiny will never enter into a formal debate. Like a formal debate with structure, because his entire shtick is to do high-speed pill pull. He'd never be able to do a structured debate because he would get fucking demolished. I stand by that. Fatty Caddy says, speaking of callers, oh look, I know as soon as I get in the cube, it all descends into madness. And we've actually done a pretty tight 2.5 hour show. Not bad for starting off with with zero prep. Not bad for dynamic content generation. Now let Fatty Caddy on ran. Now, what I want to do here then, all right, I'm going to make an executive decision. I'm very happy with how this episode turned out. I think we covered the stuff we wanted to cover. I want to do a couple of finishes. And what we're going to do is we're going to finish this one. And then we're going to have a more unstructured episode after. Because I want the people will watch this. It's more structured. They'll get what they came for. I don't want this to bloat out into a yet another 6-hour YouTube where the content's good for 2 hours and then 4 hours of incoherent screaming. So what we're going to do is we're going to separate it. We're just going to have a show that's just dedicated to the incoherent screaming. So, how to close it out? After seeing what we've seen and discussing what we're discussing, it is only entirely appropriate to do standard fuck party. You knew it was coming.
Generally hold here once a month. Here for our standard fuck party that we generally hold here once a month. I mean, the rules basically have always been no drugs, no attitude, no condoms, no clothing. We do allow condoms now if guys want to use them. We have no problem. But 100 guys, 120 guys at the party will find 2 or 3 condoms the next morning on the floor. That's it. Well, do you want to see the new equipment and stuff we've got? We have 3 portable slings out here in the yard. The guys love coming out and having sex outdoors. It's really kind of romantic. Well, we actually call that the fuck pew. The Southern Baptists wouldn't take 2 kindly to that, but it's made exactly the right height. The little bottom boys can get on it, and the tops do their thing. So we designed it, and it's been pretty popular. And generally, the parties are split between fucking and fisting, and the fisting guys will tend to stay over in this area here, and then the guys over here just for the fucking, then we'll take care of the rest of it.
I've been in the hospital 3 times whenever we spoke. Since then, I've been in the hospital twice.
Parties are very popular, and there's no judgments made one way or the other about the type of sex that the guys are going to have. And
Bill will say that barebacking didn't have anything to do with it. However, I somewhat disagree.
But the action is pretty hot and heavy here. It starts just almost immediately.
I still do it. It's my choice. I enjoy it. I don't like to use a condom. There are a lot of dangers to barebacking. I don't play at the parties as much as I used to because I do tend to get sick easier than most people. And some of the diseases I have, like I said, they don't know what they are. The party tonight is a birthday party for one of the guys. That's also one of our models. He's been in several of our videos. And we're going to set this room up so that we can film it. He wants us to shoot his birthday party. And he's going to be here in the sling, and guys will just come in and have sex with him.
Okay, open your present.
There it is. He's here. This is going to be his birthday present, I guess. They'll just come open these drapes and unwrap their present. So, it's going to be a wild time. As you can see, it's a small room, so we're not going to be able to get probably 12 people in here at a time.
And I will be 28 on the 7th of August. I'm not worried right now about getting anything else, like any STDs, because I want to have fun right now. I don't want to have to worry about it. Hopefully there'll be around 300 people. Hope they show up.
And yes, as some people were pointing out and some other people were asking, literally everyone you saw is now dead. This is a clip from a documentary that is freely available to be watched on YouTube. It's called The Gift. It clocks in at a very short time for your average documentary, only 62 minutes. we're obviously not going to watch The Gift right now. Instead, we're going to have a dance party.
It's your standard fuck party we have here every month. The fisting guys are over here, they'll show you how it's done. No clothing, drugs, or attitudes, we discourage condom use. Guys can use them if they want, but most of us refuse.
I don't play at parties much as I tend to get sick. Bill says it's not from barebacking, I can't agree with him.
We have 3 swings out by the pool, it's kinda romantic. What better way to pause your dig and get yourself the gift? Standard fuck party. Standard fuck party. Standard fuck party.
I've been to the hospital 3 times since we last spoke. These diseases that I have, the doctors just don't know. I don't want to worry about anything right now, like catching any STDs, I just want to have fun.
It's your standard fuck party, no judgments here are made. The action is so hot and heavy, it starts up right away.
Assisting guys will tend to stay over in this area.
All right. Now, while it doesn't immediately flow from the content that we've just discussed and played at length, we are going to close out with Rome Europa, and then we'll just go straight to the shit posting. We'll open the cube. All calls will be taken. So stay tuned. If you want to be there for the shit posting party, the standard shit posting party, just hang around on this channel for the next one, for the next live stream to pop up within 5 minutes, and I'll post out a link on Twitter and in the. Please don't ask me where to find the Discord at this late hour. I don't have time to do the 2001 theme. And thank you for being a wonderful audience, especially for those who need to leave now. Thanks for your time. Hope you had a great show.
Your nutshell navies came. Europe, only Europe knows. And who will hail our brother slayers? Who will hail the invading men? We may not speak of nation, we not speak of soil and flies. Europe, only Europe knows. Ocean of bodies may well swallow it all. Do we miss our world so little? Do we miss our sea so lone? Europe, only Europe knows.
hear the divisions marching across Europe, and I could hear this drumming coming through the earth. I felt I could hear this drumming coming through the earth.
All right, good night. Thank you very much for sticking by the structured show. Next, becoming the unstructured clusterfuck. But part of the new dynamic, the separation between the ordered and the unordered. There will be order in mine streams. But yeah, if you want to get on and have a jaw with me, next stream will be up very, very short. Rest of you, good night, God bless, good luck, and stay safe.